went to Kirwa in what the place is called, in Kwale, Ukwiru in Kwale. And because of the negotiations that were done, the whole project of electrification was 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion, Mr. Speaker, and the government of Kenya only contributed 56 million. Is he in order to say that usage of these travels is a waste of money? Is he in order to insinuate that? He can't answer. His time is over, Mr. Speaker.
No, Senator Eddy, you don't have to answer. That is your opinion. You might take a seat. Senator Wamatinga Wahome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Indeed, we did listen to the presidential speech. It is quite astonishing, Mr. Speaker, that some senators who were supposed to have sat there and listened to the presidential speech, it's either the ears had taken leave or they are suffering from a selective amnesia. Mr. Speaker, sir, the president did pronounce himself quite clearly that the Hustler Fund is being stocked up so that we can even move to asset financing. Mr. Speaker, sir, the president gave an example of a tuk-tuk rider in Mombasa, whom he had personally spoken to, and who expressed his desire to have the Hustler Fund modified in a way that it can accommodate asset financing. Mr. Speaker, sir, when you listen to senators here, Mr. Speaker, make comment and allude to the fact that it should move to that direction, it is either, Mr. Speaker, they were not present or they are suffering from selective amnesia. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is not lost to us that the president did pronounce himself to the policies, to the measurements, and to the adjustments that have taken place in the agricultural sector. Mr. Speaker, sir, you might hear one senator speak about missing fertilizer, but the problem is, Mr. Speaker, some of these senators speaking here, they never go home, so they will never know what is available at home. Mr. Speaker, sir, we were in Turkana, yes. We went to Katilu Irrigation Project, yes. And we did speak to National Irrigation Authority, and they did indicate, yes, this fertilizer will be made available to the farmers in Turkana. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to confirm to you that after the structural adjustment programs of the 1980s that ensured that destroyed the agricultural sector in Kenya, the president and his cabinet is on the right path to restoring this. Just the other day, Mr. Speaker, sir, after having toiled for so long to change the plight of coffee farmers, we were able to introduce a pricing and a kind of advance advance of 300 shillings, something that has remained elusive for the last 20 years, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have seen that the government, in its effort to reform the coffee sector, the agricultural sector, has not only introduced measures. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the Agricultural Committee in which I sit in, we have 9 bills, Mr. Speaker, 9 bills, all of them concerning reforms in the agricultural sector. Mr. Speaker, sir, what has been lacking in this country is the political goodwill to make changes that will benefit Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, sir, in this regime, and I would want to quote the words of the president, it is possible for us to change the fate of Kenyans and especially the farmers in our lifetime. Mr. Speaker, sir, in just under 1 year, Mr. Speaker, the current regime, the Kenya Kwanza government, has been able to employ over 56,000 teachers, Mr. Speaker, sir. This has never happened in the history of this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, we saw the standardization, the introduction of ICT hubs in all ward levels in this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is going to be a major milestone, a major achievement, and it is quite interesting that the president has been able, Mr. Speaker, sir, to ensure that we have a constant and constant design for all the ICTs hub so that we can have uniformity, we can have control of...
Senator Eddy? What is your point of order, Senator Eddy?
Mr. Speaker, I stand under point of order number 105 because I've been following keenly the recruitment of teachers in this country, with the latest being 30,000 recruitments. Is it in order for the senator of Nyeri to mislead this House that the president has employed over 56,000 teachers, Mr. Speaker? And in any case, Perhaps it should take the courage of even telling us, those 56,000 teachers, Mr. Speaker, which counties are they from? Which tribes are they from? Because when you talk about employment of people in this country, for young people who cannot be able to make money in this country, Mr. Speaker, these are the opportunities that they get. You should have that is over 56,000, Mr. Speaker.
Senator.
So thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The figures and the data can be accessed through the website of Teachers Service Commission. Mr. Speaker, sir, just like those senators claiming that fertilizers have not gotten their county because they never get to go to their counties. And Mr. Speaker, sir, because of our generosity, we as senators, the senior senators, have come together and have agreed. Those senators who are struggling to get landing in their homes because of the lack of spouses, we are going to arrange for them, they get the spouses so that they can be able to go back home and they can be able to tell this house what is happening back home. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is in the TSC. I do not need to do any research, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wahome, order before I give you a point of order. Senator Wahome, Senator Eddy stood on a point of order to request that you substantiate the figure of numbers of teachers that were employed. Are you going to be able to table that to the floor of the House?
Mr. Speaker, sir, that is general knowledge. I would be more than happy to table broken down into how many have been recruited each and every county. But Mr. Speaker, sir, we must say it again and again.
Senator
Let
Wahome,
us fellow senators take time when we have recess to go back home so that we really know what is happening there. Mr. Speaker, sir, those who've come and gotten houses in near Nairobi and they only go after the election and the only thing they can do is throw stones and demonstrate. Mr.
Eddy, I think Senator Mumo was before you. Okay. Senator Eddy, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I am raising understanding order number 101. 4. No senator shall impute improper motive to any other senator or to a member of the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, when I stood in front of this House, I think I was the most disrupted by point of orders from the majority side. But at no point did I impute any improper motive on any senators. Because we are honorable members. Because I know the struggles we go through to be elected or senated to be in this House. Because I know our commitment to the people of Kenya and to our constituents. Mr. Speaker, every single weekend, I go to my constituency, driving almost 600 kilometers all the way to Masangora and Kuria, Mr. Speaker, to go and see my people, to go and talk to my people, to go and listen to their problems. Is it in order for a senior senator who also purports to be an engineer, Mr. Speaker, even if he's an engineer of making phones, he's an engineer, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order, Mr. Speaker, for him to impute that I don't go to my constituency, or even a member of any other part of this county, Mr. Speaker, not going to their constituency, Mr. Speaker? This is not fair, Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, you must restrict him to the debate and withdraw and apologize to me personally and to all other senators that he has been imputing this motive on.
Senator Muma, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, my point of order is on Standing Order 105. You did ask the Speaker to actually undertake to substantiate the information as provided. But what he's doing is referring us to a website. Can you call him to order? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, is he in order to imply that one has to be married in order to be in this House?
Senator Wahome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wahome, before you proceed.
Yes.
Are you going to withdraw and apologize your statement on senators not going to their constituencies? And also on the point of order where you referred to senators who do not have spouses, that you shall assist them in providing them?
Speaker, sir, I'm an African, and I think it is a duty of the elders to be able to assist the younger ones who are not able to get spouses. I'll be doing my African duty. Therefore, I do not need to apologize on that one. I think I'll be doing...
What is your point of order, Senator Eddy?
Mr. Speaker, I am speaking as a youth in this country, okay? Still under Standing Order number 101. This House, Mr. Speaker and honorable members, must stop being ageist. This House, Mr. Speaker, must stop being chauvinistic. This House, Mr. Speaker, must stop looking at people of disability as not enough. This is why senators like Wamatinga, Mr. Speaker, was disparaging a woman governor the other day here, because constantly you see this house as a house of seniors, as a house of superiors, as a house of certain caliber of people. We are here by right, and the young people of this country elected me, married or not, they elected me to belong to this house. You're not going to continue with this ageist, this chauvinistic, this misogynistic kind of attitude in this house. And Mr. Speaker, on this, I don't need his apology, because we are young people of this country, and we belong here, and we're going to contribute to this debate, whether you like it or not. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Senator.
The role of an African elder still remains standing. Mr. Speaker, sir, why the African society has been over years been known to move upright, it's because before even the coming of the modern education, we were passing our knowledge orally from one generation to the next one. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is an open secret that many communities, including in Kenya, the guidance of the elders to the younger ones cannot be equated to anything, Mr. Speaker. There's nothing to withdraw, that there is nothing to apologize. It's the setup of Africans. That's what makes us this very, very strong, even in the adversity that we confront as a continent. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, sir, what we are discussing today is the presidential speech. Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, through the Speaker.
Senator Asige, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I would really encourage, and I'm quite disappointed with the line of debate that is being taken right now, because it has nothing to do with the address. We're supposed to be talking about the state of the nation, not the state of single or married young people in Kenya. That is another debate for another day. And I am standing on a 101. I feel extremely offended because this line of language is continuing, and I would urge you, Speaker, kindly, if you could just rule if the senator is in order to continue in this manner, because it is very offensive, not just to people in this house, but people who are listening. And even if it's his opinion, Speaker, that the elders are here to do 1, 2, or 3, that has nothing to do with the state of the nation address. So kindly rule him out of order.
Senator Wahome, I would urge you to continue with your submission on the state of the nation and avoid attracting too much points of orders.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm well guided. Some things will never change no matter how much or how little you say them. Mr. Speaker, sir,
proceed with your submission.
To the state of the nation. Going back to the state of the nation, Mr. Speaker, sir, I was very impressed that the president did outline the number of Kenyans that he called. A president calling a farmer in Trans Nzoia, the president calling a Boda Boda rider in Mombasa. Mr. Speaker, this is a clear demonstration that the president of this country cares about the Kenyans, that he minds going collecting views of Kenyans, and most importantly, looking at how they would want things done. Mr. Speaker, sir, whoever cared to listen to the speech of the president heard and is aware that he has a plan for this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, he outlined a loan that was taken the Eurobond, $200 billion, that everybody thought that Kenya would not be able to pay. He outlined that the country is going to be able to honor that before time. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a commitment that the president, in his capacity as the executive head of in this country, is committed to honor for international obligations, is committed to see that the economy of Kenya is in the path of recovery, but most importantly, Mr. Speaker, that he is prepared to take everybody on board towards this path of recovery. What other people would not want to hear, Mr. Speaker, sir? And I'll quote a saying that comes from my community. When somebody does not like you, even when you're in a swimming pool, he'll tell you you're blowing a lot of dust. Mr. Speaker, sir, we know the commitment of the president from maintaining this economy. We know the commitment of the president to guide the farmers towards the path of recovery. We know the commitment of the president to ensure that the dignity of Kenyans is restored, not by making them beggars, Mr. Speaker, sir, but by ensuring that they join hands into the economic path of recovery. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is not an open secret that we can recover and we will recover because the president has the utmost political goodwill to ensure that this country is in the path of recovery. As I sit down, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would urge my colleagues to look at it openly. It does not matter. 2027 is coming. You'll challenge us on what we've been able to perform. 2032 is coming, Mr. Speaker. They'll challenge us in terms of what we've been able to achieve. Mr. Speaker, sir, as I sit down, I would want to tell my fellow senators, let us close ranks. Let us agree that it is our obligation to move this country forward. Eddie, the senator from Migori, he is my brother, my younger brother. It is my obligation, Mr. Speaker, sir, to guide him into the right path. And Mr. Speaker, sir, if I step on the long toes, it is not because I don't like him. It is because I like him so much. That is why I'll repeatedly tell him again and again.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. As I rise to contribute to the President's speech, I want to remind my senior Senator Wamatinga that just yesterday in the morning, I came from Homa Bay County. And that is a demonstration that not only the elected senators go back to their constituents, but all as leaders in the Senate go back to our constituencies and we are able to pick up issues from there. And Honorable Speaker, as I start my presentation, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to start on the note that the cost of living continues to escalate, and just to inform all of us that Kenyans are stretched to the limit and they keep on getting stretched, and this must be attended to. Just this morning, Honorable Speaker, I attended to Mass, and in that Mass, Honorable Speaker, there was a wise reading from the Book of Wisdom.
Senator Kalwale, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, Senator Beatrice has informed the House that every weekend she goes back to her county. Her county. Mr. Speaker, Senator Beatrice is a nominated senator. Can she tell us, standing order number 105, when we can't be repeating the obvious, can she clarify which county she represents in this Senate?
Senator Boni Kalwale, Senator Boni Kalwale, with all due respect, you're a senior member, and I would never want to correct you. But Senator Beatrice Akinyi comes from a county, whether if she's nominated or not. So she was referring to her home county. That's what she said. She said she came yesterday from her home county. So I overruled that. You can proceed, Senator Beatrice.
Us continue to hear things they want to hear when others speak.
Point of order on who? Beatrice just started speaking with 2 words. Okay, what's your point of order, Senator Eddie?
Mr. Speaker, you know how much I respect your chair. And you know how much I've been passionate about some of the rulings that you make. And my intention has never been, and will never be, and it's not even now, going to question your ruling. But Mr. Speaker, standing order number 121, goes on knowingly raising a false point of order. 1. And then standing order number 122 it further strengthens that point of order C. Says false to declare personal interest in some matters and persistently making serious allegations, and then goes all the way to 122J. Mr. Speaker, the senator for Kakamega is constantly raising frivolous point of orders, Mr. Speaker. And this House, Mr. Speaker, has declared on its standing orders that this constitutes grossly disorderly conduct. Mr. Speaker, I wonder why Senator Boni Alwale is not thrown out of this House for grossly being disorderly, Mr. Speaker. Because you cannot stand on a point of order to disparage nominated members and even question them, in almost declaring them countyless, stateless, because under Article 6 of our Constitution, Mr. Speaker, under Article 6 of our Constitution, this country is divided into counties. The moment you have declared a member of this House countyless, you are declaring them stateless, Mr. Speaker. Is this in order, Mr. Speaker, in this House? How are we degenerating to something else, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, I beseech you that today, Mr. Boni Alwale, Senator of Kakamega, is not in his best element. He is probably under the affluence of something else. Mr. Speaker, please find him disorderly and throw him out of this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Beatrice, one moment. Senator Eddy, as much as you started your statement very well by saying you respect the chair, I also respect you, Senator Eddy. But on this particular point of order that you've just lamented here today, you are the one who's actually out of order. And I could actually find you grossly out of order, because I had already made a ruling on the point of order that Senator Boni Kalwale, and I had closed that matter, and by you standing on the same point of order, you are actually trying to reopen a matter which has already been ruled on. So I caution you, Senator Eddy. Senator Beatrice, you may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also request Senator Eddy to bear with Senior Senator Boni Alwale. Remember, by his own admission yesterday, he was appalled that for the first time he was heckled in his village. So that must have caused him a bit of discomfort. But Honorable Speaker, to also put it straight to this House, I come from a ward called Kosewe, Kanyamwa Kosewe ward, in a sub-county called Ndewa sub-county, right in Homa Bay County. And that record about me is not about to change, Honorable Speaker. So when I go to Homa Bay County as my home county, I'm rightly there. But Honorable Speaker, I'm also an officially a delegate of Homa Bay County, as spelled out and written and recorded by Senator Moses Otieno Kajwang. So Honorable Speaker, as I begin to make my contribution to the presidential speech, this morning, Honorable Speaker, I was in Mass, and in that there was a reading from the Book of Wisdom. And it said, "Listen, O kings, that you may learn wisdom." And Honorable Speaker, one wise man I like listening to often says that if you want to succeed, listen to the don't listen to the people with the answers. Listen to the people with the questions. And Honorable Speaker, these are part of my contribution, is part of the people with the questions. Honorable Speaker, as I contribute to the President's speech, I would like that the head of state takes note of the following items in my checklist. Honorable Speaker, you notice that we've had a countrywide power outage. The longest blackout that happened in this county was in August this year for over 20 hours, Honorable Speaker. And this points to the economy, and this points to the image that as a county we paint out. Just last Saturday, Honorable Speaker, there was another blackout from 8 p.m. till latest midnight. Honorable Speaker, we have had such national power blackouts in the last few months, and this must be taken care of, Honorable Speaker, because power points to our economy, and as I've said, it also points to the image. Something but rattles me, Honorable Speaker, when we talk about this national power blackout. Does it point to a planning problem, to a lack of planning, or what is it trying to show? Honorable Speaker, just today, there's going to be a treaty of the European Union and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and the Pacific states in Brussels. And our state, Kenya, is supposed to be a signatory to this treaty. Honorable Speaker, this country holds the family in highest esteem. The family is the natural unit of society that must be protected by both the society and the state, Honorable Speaker. But in this treaty that Kenya is supposed to be signing today, all the way in Brussels, it has connotations of sexual and reproductive health rights that include, Honorable Speaker, abortion. It includes homosexuality. It includes issues of sex work. And Honorable Speaker, it is a pity that if this is signed, children are going to be left to decide their sex. Honorable Speaker, children biologically when they are born, and Senator Alwala is a gynecologist, we all know that the sex of a child is determined physically at birth. But there is this proposition that children should be left without determining their sex, without spelling out their sex, so that in future as they grow up, they have a choice to decide whether they are female or male. And today, as I speak, this treaty is supposed to be signed in Brussels. Honorable Speaker, in guiding the family, in protecting our family values, these are some of the issues that the head of state and the leadership of our country should look into. Honorable Speaker, in the President's speech, there was also the issue of employment, and all of us know the state of unemployment that there is in the country. There was reference to inclusivity.
Senator Beatrice, when this debate resumes, you'll have a balance of 7 minutes. And on next Wednesday, we will prioritize the question and answers to be addressed to CS Murkomen. I think that will be next week, Wednesday morning. Honorable Senators, it is now 1 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until today, Wednesday, 15th November 2023 at 2:30 p.m.
Mtazamaji, kikao cha asubuhi cha bunge la Seneti kimefikia tamati. Nikirejelea tu mawili matatu kuhusu yaliyojiri, Spika wa muda Wakili Sigei ndiye alianzisha na kuendesha kikao. Waziri wa Utalii Dr. Alfred Mutua alifika mbele ya bunge la Seneti. Alikabiliana na maswali kutoka kwa Seneta wa Matinga ambaye aliuliza swali kwa niaba ya Seneta Murango. Maswali hayo yalihusu sana ongezeko la visa vya wanyamapori ambao wanahitilafiana sana na maisha ya binadamu katika eneo bunge la Kirinyaga ya Kati. Dr. Mutua alieleza kwamba tatizo hili linatokana na kuharibiwa kwa ua la stima ambalo limezunguka msitu wa Mlima Kenya. Hata hivyo, alihakikishia Seneta Murango kwamba wizara yake imekwisha tenga fedha za kurekebisha ua hilo. Maswali ya ziada yalitoka kwa Seneta Wambua wa Kitui, Seneta Munyi Mundigi wa Embu, Seneta Dulu wa Isiolo, Seneta Dr. Halware wa Kakamega, Seneta Muma na Seneta Cheptumo. Mtazamaji, kati ya mawaziri wanne ambao walitarajiwa kufika, mmoja pekee, Dr. Alfred Mutua, ndiye alifika. Sasa kulikuwa na kizaazaa kidogo wakati ambapo Seneta Dr. Halware alitaka kujua ni kwa nini waziri wa barabara na usafiri Mheshimiwa Murkomen hakufika. Seneta Cherargei na maseneta wengine walionekana kughadhabishwa sana na kutoonekana kwa Waziri Murkomen. Seneta Mungatana hata akasema kwamba alikuwa anamsubiri Waziri Murkomen kwa hamu na gamu ili ajieleze kwa kina kuhusu paa linalovuja katika uwanja wa ndege wa kimataifa wa Jomo Kenyatta. Hata hivyo, spika wa muda wakili Sigei alitoa mwelekeo na kikao kikaendelea. Seneta Chute akaja na kueleza kwa kina kamati ya muda kuhusu kufidiwa kwa waathiriwa wa mkasa wa bomu wa mwaka wa 1998. Baada ya hapo, bunge la seneti lilirejelea hoja ya mjadala wa hotuba ya rais. Maseneta kadha wa kadha wakachangia kwa mapana na marefu. Kisha hapo ndipo kikao kikakamilikia. Aliyetamatisha kikao ni spika wa muda Seneta Abdul Haji. Mtazamaji, ulipitwa? Iwapo ulipitwa na yaliyojiri katika kikao hiki, tafadhali fanya hima utazame kwa tovuti ya YouTube. Unaweza pia kupata nakala ya Hansard kutoka kwa tovuti ya bunge la Kenya www.parliament.go.ke. Kumbuka matangazo haya ya moja kwa moja yanaletwa kwako na kitengo cha utangazaji cha bunge nchini chini ya ushirikiano na KBC Channel 1. Kwa sasa sina la ziada. Jina langu ni Vusaka Litu, ila na kuomba usikose kikao cha alasiri kuanzia saa 8:30. Kwa heri kwa sasa.